At number 2, you've got Trent McDuffie out of Washington. We'll get to Sauce Gardner here in a second. I cannot believe Sauce Gardner's not in your top 2, but you like McDuffie. 4.44 and the 40. What else did you see from the Washington product?
He's Honey Badger like. When you popped in the tape of Trent McDuffie, he reminded me, I said, oh, man, he is Tyrann Mathieu all day, 2.0. Just all over the field, just a football player, just good instinct, just something, everything you look at it as a coach. So, you know, they say open field tackler. You got to stay up. You got to stay upfield, up shoulder, because if you get your head behind somebody, they're going to always break the tackle. You got to get your head across. He just played that all the time. You know, when it just came down to open space and catching picks and gambling, he was the hardest gambler I see. Usually guys are afraid to gamble because they always second guess themselves. He didn't at all. If you watch Trent McDuffie and just see how he played over the course of the season, man, he just made plays. He made plays in the open field. He made plays reading routes. He made plays in the backfield. And when it came down to gambling and having the attitude, that's just what he did. Now, he's 5'11" some change. Well, man, I can take that all day because Tyrann Mathieu is not even 5'11". Tyrann is like 5'10", maybe 5'9". So when I watched Trent McDuffie, man, I just looked at the total package. Like, he can pretty much do it all. He's a football player. You can put him anywhere. You can put him at safety. You can put him at free safety, strong safety, slot corner, or corner, lock out somebody on the outside. The same thing you can do with Tyrann Mathieu. When Tyrann Mathieu first came into the NFL, you could put him at corner. You could put him at slot. Now he didn't transfer himself into a free or a strong safety. And he's not that big in size, but he plays big. The reason why Tyrann Mathieu will play so long in the NFL because he has a high IQ. Trent McDuffie will be the same way when it comes to it. And I always look at picks. We're going to get down to Sauce coming in at the third, but it's a difference between being the PBU guy and being the interception guy. And I explain that on my next one.
I'll make one correction to something you just said. As someone who considers himself a little general, said 5'9". It's 5'10" if you're generous, if you're Tyrann Mathieu. 5'10" if you're generous is the key phrase there.
Right. He's 5'9". If you say he's 5'10", he's 5'9".
It doesn't surprise me about McDuffie with good ball skills. Former high school receiver, Ike, so understands how to track passes in the air. One other thing, too, and this was a scouting report I read about McDuffie, which kind of cracked me up. This is a direct quote from one scouting report. It says, his tape was pretty boring to watch, I'm not going to lie, because opposing passers rarely threw to his side. So, shut down
Mark,
corner.
I'm telling you, this dude, he reminds me of the Honey Badger. His attitude, the way he plays, he got a chip on his shoulder, but it's not any kind of cockiness. You can just tell he's super confident. And for you to make plays and gamble and trust yourself and trust your instincts like how McDuffie does, that's why I had him at number 2, man. You're gonna get a steal, and it's hard. It's hard to find a guy who can play in the slot and outside. Usually the guys we're talking about, they just usually outside guys. But when you can get a guy who can play multiple positions, man, I'm talking about Trent McDuffie right now.